The following is a presentation of 912 Sports. Welcome to On Air with 912 Sports, your number one source for high school sports. With Sean Smoke, Kevin Price, and Robbie Ross. On Air with 912 Sports is brought to you by Coastal Pines Technical College. Go Coastal. Prime South Bank. Find your prime. Robbie Robertson Ford, because Fords are cheaper in the swamp. Gibson Animal Clinic, practical solutions with limited fees. And Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, the region's best orthopedic care.
High schoolers, did you know that you can get a head start on your college career and save money at the same time through dual enrollment at Coastal Pines Technical College? Dual enrollment is open to high school juniors and seniors, tuition free. Talk to your high school counselor or visit coastalpines.edu for more information. Coastal Pines Technical College, an equal opportunity institution. Go Coastal.
It makes sense Prime South Bank would have a great mobile app. Nobody is as mobile as our customers. For a century, they've chased dreams, followed their hearts, took the road less taken, made a new path, taken leaps of faith. At Prime South, offering the latest digital banking, secure pay apps, and new online lending is part of a mobile tradition that goes way back. Life is mobile. So is Prime South. Find your Prime. Member FDIC.
Play it loud and rev it up. Robbie Robertson's got trucks built for tough.
Make your way to Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, where the deals are bigger than ever. Looking for a stylish midsize car, a spacious SUV, or a truck that performs at work and play? Robbie Robertson wants your vehicle and is paying top dollar. Now is the time to buy. Fords are cheaper in the swamp.
Welcome, sports fans, and thanks for watching On Air with 912 Sports. I'm Sean Spoke, publisher of 912 Sports, and I'm joined now with the state champion head coach of the Single A Division II Girls Champion Clinch County Pantherettes, Coach Jace Daniels. Coach, how you doing today, buddy?
Hey, man, it's been a while since I've been this happy, man. I was telling another reporter that, outside of my wedding day and the birth of my two daughters, man, this is up there. This is up there with as happy as I've been.
Exactly. Well, Coach, you guys are just maybe like an hour and a half off of winning the state championship. We appreciate your time today and joining us here. But, man, what a performance by your girls. Coach, you guys just hung in there it shot out big and had a big lead. And then, Lake Oconee battled back. As a matter of fact, there was, I think, 2 ties. There was a tie at the end of the first quarter. There was a tie at the end of the second quarter. And then the third quarter really is where a lot of the action started happening. I mean, you guys went down by 8 and then went on a big, I think it was an 8-0 run to tie it back up. Then Lake Oconee goes out. I think they had a 6-0 run. So you wound up ending the third quarter. Trailing 30-36, but then the all-important one, the end of that fourth quarter, you guys were up 45-42. Some really good coaching by you on a couple of timeouts, which we'll get to. But your players, Coach, they just never quit. Never let the scoreboard affect what they knew that they had to do to get this victory.
Yeah, I told them in the locker room that, I'm always confident. As long as there's time on the clock, if we fall short, I don't feel like we lose. I just feel like we run out of time, and our 4 losses this year came by a combined 12 points. 2 were in overtime. One was by 1 point at the last second buzzer, and then obviously we lost to Turner County by 6 in the region championship. But that's just a testament to play 30 something, right at 30 games or 31. I don't even know what it is. But just for these girls to stay focused for that long, and man, it's been a long season. I say it's been long, but it also feels like it's been very quick. Our season was our schedule was so condensed due to football, going late in the playoffs, and that's kind of the norm around here, and our girls are used to it. But it's just, man, we've battled a lot of adversity this year. The region championship, that was a very heartbroken, very saddened locker room atmosphere after the game, and it was just a very short talk by the coaching staff, and we could hear Turner County beating on the walls and the doors, in the joining locker rooms and hooping and hollering and all of that, and I just told them, I let it sink in for a minute while the girls were crying, and I just said, remember that feeling, we don't want to have it again. And, I said, the fact that I can tell through your tears and everything that there's drive and competitiveness inside of you, and your hearts are broken, which in essence is a good thing, because if it didn't really matter that much to you, then we're not where we need to be. But if it matters that much to them to lose the region championship, then I knew there was something there to keep working with. So I told them on the next day or two we met for film after that region championship loss that, listen, things happen for a reason. God may have a different plan for us, and everything that you still want, everything that was our goal at the beginning of the year is still right here in front of us. It's very attainable, and so, and look, we played Lake Oconee. Hats off to them, tremendous team. But if we would have won region, we would have had to face them in the Elite Eight round, Right. So at their place. So God definitely had a different plan for us, and we bought into just not looking back and taking it one game at a time. We started over 0-0 in the playoffs, and we didn't look back.
Yeah. Well, Coach, you guys had a great, like I said, went on an 8-0 run in the third quarter. I think you had another 7-0 run there, and actually outscored Lake Oconee in the fourth quarter. I think it was 15 to, 15-6, which actually put you guys over the top. So, great job there. And all of your guys all your girls played great. But the one that kind of stood out on TV was Dorsey. We know she had a double-double. I think roughly, best we can tell, it was 19 points, 20 rebounds. Just an awesome day under the boards for Dorsey.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the stats, but I had somebody whisper in my ear. Of course, she was named player of the game, I guess, by GPB or whoever. She was named player of the game. They wanted to interview her right after the game. But somebody told me in my ear she had 19 points and 20 rebounds.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, that's a great day by anybody's standards. If you could do that, especially the biggest game of the year, that's a fantastic job. And I mentioned earlier there was some great coaching there. I thought one of the great moves on your part was calling that timeout with like 36 seconds to go. You guys got trapped at the timeline. I think you had another second or so to get the ball over, but you went ahead and then took the timeout, and then came out with a great inbounds play and wound up getting points off of that timeout there. So just a great call that you made there. But what led into it for you to make that call?
I'm scared. I knew the time was near. The 10-second line was very near, and I knew where the ball placement was in the corner there, and I just looked around, didn't see many outlets for who. I don't even remember who had the ball at the time. I guess Mayan did, but I just called timeout, to reset right there, and then I knew. Man, they hurt us with that press kind of all night, consistently off and on. Now we were able to break it and get a few buckets, but they were tough in it, and so I knew if I called timeout right there when we were trapped, that we would be able to get an inbounds play there and basically have a better chance of breaking it and attacking the goal. So down towards the end, we did some time management stuff where I told them, time is our best asset right now. And if you got a wide open layup, take it. But as well as they were shooting the three, I knew that time was the best asset that we had. So I just told them work the shot clock down, and when there's around 8 or 7 seconds left on the shot clock, somebody set a screen and drive to the paint. And the beauty was, as good as Dorsey and Dean were rebounding, I knew if Amayan was to penetrate or Danisha or anybody else was to be able to penetrate the zone, that even if they missed, it increased our chances of being productive, because a lot of our rebounds, a lot of our points tonight came from offensive rebound putbacks.
Right. Right. Yeah. And I mean, y'all were masterful on the board, because, like I said, a lot of times on the defensive end, they were one and done. But you guys, you're exactly right. Y'all scored a ton of points off of offensive rebounds. I don't know what those numbers are, but when you go back and look at the statistics, they'll bear that out. But again, Coach, just a fantastic game. Your girls never gave up. They believed that they were going to get that victory, and they hung with it and come away 45-42 winners for Charlton County's, I guess, or for Clinch County. This is y'all's first state championship since '93 for basketball. Does that sound right?
I know it's the first girls state championship in 30 years.
Okay.
I'm not sure if the boys have won. It seems like in '95 we won a championship, but I'd have to go back and look.
Right. Well, I know there was one year, and it's been a minute, but Clinch won football state championship, basketball state championship, and baseball state championship all in the same year. So, but I believe that was the late '80s when that happened. But
that was '88, '89, and I tell you something that's kind of sort of personable with me, is one of my freshman point guards, number one. I was here with her brother whenever I was on the team. We came to the Final Four and played Wilkinson County, and I was just a sophomore, just glad to tag along and get a front row seat to watching him. But Jonathan Smith played and was instrumental on that team. That whole team was very good. And anyway, I was just saying that I was on the team with her brother during the Final Four, and for her to be on this team was kind of surreal.
Yeah, well, that's a great personal touch there. But you guys done a fantastic job, Coach. I'm gonna let you go enjoy it. I know you girls are still there. Y'all watching a little bit of basketball this afternoon, but nobody can take it away from you or those girls. Y'all are the 2023 state champions for girls single A Division II. So congratulations.
Thank you.
All righty, buddy. That's Coach Chase Daniels, because they win it all today in Macon. And we'll be right back here with more On Air with 912 Sports right after this.
At Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, you don't have to be an athlete to get the region's best orthopedic care. Our board-certified orthopedic surgeons and physicians treat injuries and conditions that affect just about any joint or bone in your body. Plus, we're backed by the support of Southeast Georgia Health System. From fracture repair to joint replacement, Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery will get you moving again. Call 1-855-ASK-SGHS. That's 1-855-275-7447 or visit sghs.org/summit.
Gibson Animal Clinic is ready to help with your animals. From cats to dogs to horses, we treat them all. Call on us for grooming, bathing, boarding, and more serious things like surgery, dentistry, spay, neuter, immunizations, heartworm prevention, flea control, complete lab testing, radiology, preventive health care. Call us at 285-7678. Open Saturdays for your convenience. Gibson Animal Clinic. Practical solutions with reasonable fees. Russell J. Gibson, DVM.
Gibson Animal Clinic, 108 Riverside Drive, Waycross.
Hablamos español en nuestra clínica.
Welcome, sports fans, and thanks for watching On Air with 912 Sports. I'm Sean Spoke, publisher of 912 Sports, joined here by Coach David Bailey of the Charlton County Indians. Coach, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Doing great, man. Hey, appreciate you joining us here on Air with 912 Sports there, Coach. Last time we talked to you guys had just defeated Hancock County to earn Charlton County's first ever trip to the Final Four. You guys got to go on the road over to Valdosta, Coach, and play a very, very good, I think it was Green Forest Academy it was the name of that school. These guys, hey, listen, we're not making no bones about it. They had 3 7-footers or 3 guys that was close to 7 foot tall. They had assembled a basketball team to try to win the state championship, but you guys come away with a miraculous shot at the end of the game to win the right to go play for state this week. But let's go back to that game, Coach, and talk a little bit about it and what went into it. Came down to a final shot. You guys, I think, had 3 seconds on the clock. Tell us a little bit what went into your thinking, what was the play call, and how it all went down.
Yes, sir. Well, first and foremost, I just want to give all glory, honor, and praise to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. But secondly, that play call never works in practice. So, I mean, it never works. But we called a timeout. We didn't like the look we wanted. My assistant coach, Coach Brooks, he didn't like the look. So we called another timeout to kind of get the look we wanted. And we put we let Lies take it out because it was originally supposed to be Jalen King. But Lies took it out so we could get the 7-footer out. We could clear him off the paint. And, Jalen's a D1 quarterback going to Gardner Webb. So we threw it to Jalen. We set the double screen for Jarvis on the backside. And Jalen just caught it and threw it up. And Jarvis made a great catch and throw. But that was all God, man, because I don't even think Jarvis looked at the basket. And it went off glass. So, but, I mean, it worked. But, I mean, I know it was God because that play, I ran that play once when I was coaching at Neatwood in Brunswick. And it worked in middle school. But it's never worked from that point on. So, but it was just a blessing.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask you, did Jarvis call bank when he threw it up? So.
No, Jarvis wasn't even looking at it, man. But Jarvis puts in a ton of work. I mean, Jarvis gets up a ton of shots every day. So I just think that's a testament to his hard work and how many shots he gets up. I mean, he finished off the season number 2 in the country and made 3. So, if anybody was going to shoot it, he was going to be the guy to shoot that shot.
Exactly. Well, what that did, Coach, it earned you the right to go play for a state title, which you guys did this past Wednesday. Y'all made the trip up to Macon. First ever appearance, I think, for the boys team there in Charlton County for a state title. Like I said, and that's a big atmosphere, big stage. You guys played Wilkerson County. Wilkerson County, I believe, Coach, and help me out, I think that was their 9th state title yesterday. I mean, these guys are a program that win time and time again. You guys played a great basketball game. Actually, never trailed in that game, Coach, until about 1:53 to go. Led at the end of the first quarter by a score of 11-6. Led at the end of the second quarter when you went into halftime. That score was 19-16, and then led going into the third quarter 25-20. But the fourth quarter just wasn't meant to be, and those guys come away. I think they went on let's see, what was it? I think it was a 21-11 run or something like that.
Yeah, 20-11.
Finally win the game by a final score of 40-36. But nothing to hang your heads about. You guys played a great game. And, we talked about it before we came on air. Your 2 big guys got in foul trouble. As a matter of fact, Jalen King, I think, went out with 4 minutes or something like that to play in the game. And, of course, that kind of hurt you guys. And then inexplicably with 1:53, they call a foul on Eliza Williams that is no way in the world was a foul, and puts your big man on the bench, and then kind of things just kind of slip away from there. But talk a little bit about what went into that fourth quarter and how all those things impacted your team.
It's still kind of fresh, but we definitely play through our bigs at Charlton County High School. We got 6'8", 6'9" Elias Williams. We got 6'5" Jalen King, and we kind of try to play a high-low, inside-out game. I actually got that from Coach Turner, so at Brunswick. But I don't know, man. It's just I really I told my guys after the game, and I really mean this. I got to do a better job offensively. I think we had a great defensive plan. Their best player, their region player of the year, number 11. We ran a double at them all game because they average about 72 points a game. We average 71 points a game. So defensively, we did a great job, but offensively, I think we got stagnant, and I think that goes back to me. I called the plays, so I don't think the ball was moving like it should have been, especially when the Lions went out in the second quarter. So I got to do a better job offensively. But it was kind of, it got me out of rhythm, and I ain't even gonna lie. A couple of times, that was my first time ever in that environment. I was looking up on the big screen, and I kept seeing my face up there, and I was just like, wow, I'm really at a state championship game. So
Right.
it was nerves, and Jarvis been carrying us all year long. He shot 2 for 11 from three. So it was just a lot of different things that went into it, and like even when we walked in the stadium, we didn't even know where to go. We didn't know where to get into. We couldn't find our locker room, and so it was me being, man. I mean, it's only being my fourth year being a head coach. This being our first time ever. It was a lot of just a lot of things was kind of new to us, but I think the boys handled it well. We just couldn't score the ball, man. I think we got sped up. We play fast, we get out in transition, but I probably should have slowed the team down a little bit. And I think I was playing not to lose. I should have been playing to win. So trust me, I've been up all night thinking about what I could have done. So
Right. Well, Coach, did you really expect this to be the defensive battle that it turned into with everybody, averaging in the 70s, points wise? I mean, this was a game that was 40-36 when both of you guys been putting up 70 points. Did you go into this game thinking it might be that kind of a defensive battle?
Not honestly. I knew we could kind of, because number 11 can really score. He was averaging like 25 points a game, and I knew we was going to give him trouble because we was going to run a double at him. And so, but I if you'd have told me we would only score 36 points, because we scored a basketball at a high clip. We scored a basketball at a very high clip. We play fast. We try to get up 75 to 80 shots a game, and we just weren't getting up a ton of shots. And so I did not think we would struggle so much offensively. And
yeah, Coach, your big guy, Elias Williams, he didn't play a lot of minutes. And talk a little bit about how that affected your game plan.
Man, it just completely messed it up, man. I mean, shout out to Wilkinson County. I mean, I think from the very beginning, their game plan was to attack our bigs and get them in foul trouble, because we've done a good job all year staying out of foul trouble. And they came out and just attacked them. I always tell our big guys to go straight up. Don't try to block shots. And we got some calls. They got some calls early, and so it really changed the way we had to call the game. We like to do a lot of high-low, inside-out stuff, and so we had to start kind of going 4-out, 1-in stuff, and that's kind of not who we are. But it really changed the way it really changed the way we did things, and not just offensively. I mean, they had 19 offensive rebounds, and that's where it killed us. I mean, because they really had trouble scoring in their initial set, but it was the putbacks, it was the offensive rebounds, it was the extra possessions that they wouldn't have gotten if Elias and Jalen King were in. But I mean, Elias probably played about 2.5 quarters, and he had 10 points and 20 rebounds. So I really think if he would have played a full game, you're probably talking about 20 points and 40 rebounds. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or some he was on pace to have one of those career nights, I feel like.
Right. Well, that play, with him fouling out, it was big. Of course, Jalen King, we already talked about him fouling out. But the other thing I thought was really big is right there toward the end of the game, 2 minutes to go, Jarvis Wright goes hard to the hole and comes down hard on his wrist. Then he shoots 2 free throws that he immediately misses. And we know he's an 80% free throw shooter, and then really didn't hit another shot the rest of the game. How bad was his wrist, and how much do you think that affected his shooting there going down the stretch?
And see, Jarvis is a tough kid. And so, I mean, I talked to him again this morning. I talked to him last night. He says, Coach, I'm fine. But I still think we need to get it checked out today, because if you remember, we were down 3 and we ran a play where Jarvis sets the screen and flare. He got a wide open shot at the top of the key. And, Jarvis is the number 2 shooter in the country. And he doesn't miss those. But I was looking at the rotation and how it just looked off. And I'll see him again today, because I know in fourth block and weight training, and kind of see if he has any swelling. But he fell hard. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It was just a tough game. I'm still kind of replaying it in my head. But I mean, they had 19 offensive rebounds, and that's where they won the game at, because they weren't really scoring on their initial sets.
Right. Well, Coach, still a tremendous season. Took this team further than the Charlton County boys have ever been in any season prior to you being the head coach. Just a great job. The good thing about it is, Coach, you guys are fairly young. You got Elias Williams coming back. Jarvis Wright's coming back. So you guys could be in a pretty good position to make another run. Talk a little bit about who all's coming back and what that means to have that continuity.
Yeah, I mean, we only have 1 senior, so I mean, that's kind of the blessing. I think Wilcox had 12 seniors. So I think they're and they have 12 seniors, and last night they won their 11th state championship. So they're 11-0 state championship game. So I think their what's the word I'm looking for? Their maturity, their experience, and our inexperience really showed last night. But Jalen King is going to be a huge loss. You know, he's a 6'5", stretch four. He averaged 11 points, 7 rebounds. But I think the blessing is, 4 guys who started that state championship game will be back.
Right.
We got some really good young kids coming up. We're going to play about 31 games this summer. We're going to try to play a really tough schedule like we always do. We always try to schedule tough. We're going to try to probably going to play Glenn this year. We're going to go to a couple of showcases in Atlanta. And I'm just excited. I think we're going to probably move Jarvis right over to the point this year and let him get more touches that way. Jarvis and Elias, they're both all-state players and they're only sophomores, and so they're only going to get bigger, stronger, faster. They're going to get better. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. But it would sure have been nice to get that state championship ring this year, but. The future is bright at Charleston County, and we just have great kids who take the weight room serious. They take the classroom serious. They take practice serious, and I really think they're going to be committed. Jamari Hamilton, he's a junior. He'll be back, and I think he's probably the best player on our team overall, but you just don't really hear a lot about him. And you got Demarion Martin, our point guard. He's coming back. And you got Ahmad Hamilton. He was our 6th man this year. He'll move into that starting role. He's about a 6'2" stretch 4 who can shoot the ball and defend. So, I mean, you've got 5 guys coming back who played a lot of minutes and who's got a lot of experience. And, you got with Jarvis and Elias, you got some of the 2 best players in the country. So just really looking forward to next year.
Yeah. Well, Coach, congratulations on a great season. I know you wanted that ring last night. You guys come up just a little bit short, but hey, nothing to hang your head about. Like I said, a tremendous season, and we're looking forward to for 2024 to roll around here to get you guys back on the court and maybe make another deep run.
Yes, sir. And I just want to give a shout out to Coach Haywood. Coach Haywood, head coach of Glenn Academy, he gave me my first coaching run. He's been very impactful on my life as a big brother. So thank you, Coach Haywood. I want to thank Coach Turner. We talk all the time. I took a lot of his high-low stuff and just thankful for the community of Charleston County, administration, the Board of Education, just everybody giving me a chance and, supporting us, being there with us. And it was just a team effort. And just want to thank God, man, for giving us this opportunity and just for showing us favor all season long.
Exactly. Well, Coach, appreciate your time today. Again, great season, and we'll keep up with you guys and look forward to next season.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. That's Coach David Bailey, head coach of the Charleston County Indians, as they were runners-up in Single A Division II for boys basketball this season. Stick around. We got more On Air with 912 Sports coming up right after these messages.
Play it loud and rev it up. Robbie Robertson's got trucks built for tough.
Make your way to Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, where the deals are bigger than ever. Looking for a stylish midsize car, a spacious SUV, or a truck that performs at work and play? Robbie Robertson wants your vehicle and is paying top dollar. Now is the time to buy. Fords are cheaper in the swamp.
At Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, you don't have to be an athlete to get the region's best orthopedic care. Our board-certified orthopedic surgeons and physicians treat injuries and conditions that affect just about any joint or bone in your body. Plus, we're backed by the support of Southeast Georgia Health System. From fracture repair to joint replacement, Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery will get you moving again. Call 1-855-ASK-SGHS. That's 1-855-275-7447 or visit sghs.org/summit.
It makes sense Prime South Bank would have a great mobile app. Nobody is as mobile as our customers. For a century, they've chased dreams, followed their hearts, took the road less taken, made a new path, taken leaps of faith. At Prime South, offering the latest digital banking, secure pay apps, and new online lending is part of a mobile tradition that goes way back. Life is mobile. So is Prime South. Find your Prime. Member FDIC.
Hello, everybody. I'm Kevin Price for On Air with 912 Sports. On Tuesday, I made a trip to Augusta with the Brunswick High baseball team for the Pirates Region 2 6A game at Evans. So basically, we used that opportunity to give an inside look at traveling with the team from the time we left the BHS locker room early Tuesday morning until the time we arrived back Tuesday night after a long day of baseball and that trip to Augusta. So now here's our feature, Traveling with the Pirates. As I left home to catch the team bus for the ride to Augusta, it was a beautiful morning, a great day to play two, as the great Ernie Banks once said. But on this day, the Pirates were heading to Augusta to play one and only one game against Evans High School to begin their three-game series against the Knights. I arrived at the school about 8:45 in the morning, and Mr. Randy Oglesby, the bus driver, had the bus there, gassed up, and ready to go. The players began to load the bus shortly after 9, and with my equipment and their baseball gear filling some of the empty seats, we were ready to leave Brunswick shortly before 9:30. The players, as you might imagine, were seated in the back of the bus. I was near the front with the BHS coaches and Jim Hackendale, the PA announcer for the Pirates, who made the trip to Augusta as well. The early conversation among the coaches included NFL football talk and Lamar Jackson's status with the Baltimore Ravens. But also, they went over some of the scouting reports they had received on Evans from other coaches who had played against them already, or from others who had seen the Knights play early in the season. Soon after we exited off Interstate 95 onto I-16 West, the baseball conversation turned to past road trips that were longer than the usual one for area rivalries, and BHS pitching coach Kai Bialis also talked about traveling with his college team, Mercer University in Macon, to play top-ranked Florida down in Gainesville, and also Mercer's visit to Kansas State way out in Manhattan, Kansas, when he played college baseball. We also discussed some of the new rules in the major leagues, the art of bunting a baseball, and some of the top players in the game as we drove into Statesboro, where we stopped off for an early lunch about 11 a.m. We ate right across the street from the Georgia Southern University campus on the main drag, and we ate at the original Zaxby's restaurant, which someone reminded me used to be Zax before the franchise started. Back on the bus, a little after high noon, we continued the journey on to Augusta. We turned onto the Bobby Jones Expressway once we were in the Augusta area, and lo and behold, we came to a stoplight at the intersection of the Expressway and Washington Road, which of course is famous for being the main road leading to Augusta National Golf Club, the home of the Masters Tournament every April. To get to the golf course, we would have turned right at the light. Instead, we took a left and made our way down the famous roadway until reaching the turnoff for the school. A winding two-lane road led us through some nice countryside and past some beautiful homes until we reached Evans High School and the baseball field, which is separated from the other athletic facilities on campus. Mr. Randy dropped the team off just outside the main entrance to the stadium, and the walk to the Brunswick High School dugout on the third base side of the ball diamond from there was not all that long. The Pirates quickly dressed into their uniforms, and with Evans taking live team batting practice on the field, the Pirates went through the batting cages down the first baseline for their pregame BP session. To get there, the Pirates had to walk by the bricked concession stand, which was decorated with several plaques that recognized the Knights State Championship baseball teams of the past. I noticed some of the BHS players gave them a quick look, and some maybe didn't even notice those plaques at all. Me, I took the time to read off the names on each one and the team's records and national rankings that were posted too. One name that many in Southeast Georgia would recognize is Buddy Holder, the former Effingham football coach who starred for Evans in the late 1980s and went on to play baseball at Georgia Southern before getting into teaching and coaching. After that, I went to set up my table and broadcasting equipment between the concession stand and home plate before going back once again to chit-chat with the BHS coaches in the dugout as the Pirate players stretched and threw in the outfield grass. But before BHS took their infield-outfield practice, I talked with the coaches about hitting with fungo bats, engaged in other small talk before getting the lineups and going back to my place to settle in for the ball game. As for the game itself, it was a good one for BHS, who led the whole way and led by 5-2 going into the bottom of the seventh when Evans scored 2 runs and had the bases loaded with 2 outs when a ground ball on the infield led to the last out of the game. 4 times in their final at-bat, the Knights were down to their final strike, and ultimately the Brunswick High School Pirates got the job done and picked up a big road win in region play early on. Our player of the game, BHS starting pitcher and winning pitcher, Caden Purvis, who threw into the 7th, came over and talked with me on air in our post-game show, as did Coach Robert. I was actually the last man to board the bus for the trip back home after the game, after tearing down and packing up the broadcasting equipment for the ride back home. We made a quick stop back out on Washington Road at the Papa John's for some to-go pizza for the post-game meal and kept on trucking toward home from there. In the back of the bus, the players played a card game I know for at least part of the ride home. Up front, we all napped here and there and engaged in some more casual talk as well. Back home before 10:30, we emptied the bus, cleaned it out, and everyone met with Coach Roberts back in the field house before calling it a day. He updated the players on the status of an injured BHS player who had to be taken to an Augusta hospital after the game, and Coach Roberts also laid out the game plan for the Pirates for the rest of the week, which included Friday's home doubleheader against Evans to round out this week's series. It was a fun day spent with the Pirates for sure, which reminded me of my old playing days and the team bus trips we took back then. And oh, to be young once again. For On Air with 912 Sports, I'm Kevin Price.
Gibson Animal Clinic is ready to help with your animals. From cats to dogs to horses, we treat them all. Calling us for grooming, bathing, boarding, and more serious things like surgery, dentistry, spay, neuter, immunizations, heartworm prevention, flea control, complete lab testing, radiology, preventive health care. Call us at 285-7678. Open Saturdays for your convenience. Gibson Animal Clinic. Practical solutions with reasonable fees. Russell J. Gibson, DVM.
Gibson Animal Clinic, 108 Riverside Drive, Waycross.
Hablamos español en nuestra clínica.
High schoolers, did you know that you can get a head start on your college career and save money at the same time through dual enrollment at Coastal Pines Technical College? Dual enrollment is open to high school juniors and seniors, tuition free. Talk to your high school counselor or visit coastalpines.edu for more information. Coastal Pines Technical College, an equal opportunity institution. Go Coastal.
This has been a presentation of 912 Sports.